Wait, what door is this? And what is this? Hello? Where are we? And who are you? What's your name? Where are you from? I don't know. Let's go find out. What are we doing? Well, it's a new day and a new place. I don't think we've ever been out this door. But the sun is shining. Look at that. The lilac are trying to bloom here. Where are we? I don't know if I'm going to tell you. Let's just go this way and see what happens. I don't see any animals. I see this one animal. And I actually know your name. It's Clementine. Clementine. But I don't remember the breed of Clementine. Vizsla. It's a Vizsla. And there's some water out there. Now that's really interesting looking at the water. I see some flat water right here in the lee of the land, and then there's some ripples way out there. So it's going to be actually another windy day. We just happened to decouple the atmosphere last night. That means that the cool air settled down. It was a brilliant night. Look at all the birds over there. It was a brilliant night. The stars were incredible. Satellites. Saw the Milky Way. Haven't seen the Milky Way in some time. And so I'm not prepared to do all the weather, but I'll just tell you that it is a beautiful day here on Wellfleet Harbor, looking over towards Uncle Tim's Bridge. With Clementine having a ball. There it is. There's the sun. Beautiful colors. She matches the fall colors. Yeah. It's definitely some bait out there. Wellfleet Harbor. And carcass, smelly carcass. What I'm told is this is the mola mola. And a crab. Oh yeah, Alaska king crab. What are they doing down here? Kidding. And a horseshoe crab, which I think has seen better days. Yeah.
This guy's got a tag on it right here.
Wow. So what does that mean? They tagged mola molas?
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah, there's a rescue group going around now. They probably want to know that.
Otherwise known as a sunfish, right? Those are those lazy fins you see sometimes. I remember fishing when I was a little kid. You just see this lazy fin in the water.
Yeah.
Kind of going like that. What do you think those gulls are eating over there?
Breakfast.
Breakfast? All right. Let's do some weather. I know you come here for weather sometimes. Gorgeous today, and it's going to get real windy as the day goes on and overnight tonight. How windy? Why don't we start with that? Here's the map from the HRRR showing the arrows coming from the west-southwest in southern New England and then turning from the north in northern New England. Tight pressure gradient today. Probably have some gusts past 35 again, so. This is about treetop level, and the purples are winds sustained at 20 knots, then the reds are winds sustained at 30 knots. And if we stop it at 11 o'clock tonight, right over Wellfleet Harbor, sustained winds of 36 knots, in other words, 40 miles per hour, means we're probably going to be gusting 50 to 55. Oh my goodness. Secure loose objects. The red-tailed hawk doesn't seem to mind. Red-tailed hawk? What happened to all those gulls? Oh, we did a shape shift, time shift. All of a sudden we're at the Bass River. We've left Wellfleet Harbor. And we've come south Dennis to be more specific, where I was almost going to put the porch furniture away for the winter last weekend when I was here, but I didn't, and so I paid the price. There is my fairly new Weber grill laying on its back with its door ripped off. I didn't really like that one. Weber is not the kind of product that it was years ago, as so many things are not. And now at 10 o'clock here on the Mid-Cape, it's 56 degrees and the wind is picking up. And so that wind just changed right before our eyes at Wellfleet Harbor this morning, a little in more before the weather today. Come into the backyard, so pretty here in South Dennis with the leaves kind of flying around, blowing and drifting leaf advisory in effect here as the wind is really going to crank up tonight. And the reason for that condensation on the door this morning in Wellfleet, thank you Dennis for the hospitality and Clementine for the entertainment, was because the temperature last night cooled to the dew point in the 40s and 50s, and now we're mixing that out with this wind mixing down. It happened right before our eyes there at Wellfleet Harbor. And I've had a chance to look around at the weather maps, and it's extraordinary, and it's scary, and it's beautiful at the same time. And there's that red-tailed hawk swirling around up there. All right, so what's scary, I guess, is what's happening with snow over northeastern New Mexico. Looks like Interstate 40. Brian sending some imagery for us. Storm Chaser Brian M. Finger, is that really your real name? Anyhow, thank you for this content of video from yesterday. He said I-40 near Santa Rosa, essentially a parking lot. Even though it looks like the road is fairly clear, any kind of incline, and you go up in elevation and the roads become snow covered, so the semis are just all backed up. And there's been quite a bit of damage. As you get to lower elevations, it's been a very wet snow, and it's caused a lot of trees to come down, a lot of damage, thousands without electricity. And the snow reports coming out of the ski areas, and even in some lower elevations, are coming past 3 feet now over the past 2 days, and a blizzard warning remains in effect, or went into effect last night. I didn't even see that coming, in northeast New Mexico for this storm that's now been stalled here. This is day 3. So the storm is going to gradually lift out. And if you look at it from space, this is extraordinary. The blizzard there in the upper left, and then down in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico is a Category 3 hurricane. Whenever in a lifetime have I, or you, any of us, ever seen a Category 3 hurricane adjacent to a blizzard? And in between the two today, there's a severe storm threat, and there may be a tornado outbreak in central Texas. So all at once, blizzard, tornado, and hurricane. And it is just that time of year. This is the anniversary. James Spahn posted this on X this morning. I forgot the year, but it was decades ago. And a blizzard in the northern Great Lakes. So it's that time of year for blizzards and hurricanes to overlap. And it's once in a lifetime for us, but for our grandparents, it also happened for them, a once in a lifetime event. So what's next? All right, how do I mix the Wellfleet setup with this Dennis now? My host was Dennis, and now I'm standing in the town of Dennis, is what I'm talking about. The front that's coming through northern New England, let's try and be New England focused now. Why don't I start with the image of Jay Peak underneath the next cold front coming south. One came through yesterday. It wasn't very cold. There's another one coming south today. Jay Peak just managed to hold on to a couple of those piles of snow made on the jet trail last weekend, and the guns can come back on tonight. There's going to be about another 18 to 24-hour window of snowmaking opportunity. And there's so much wind with this front. And see, there's a 990 low going to our north right now, and there's about a 1025 and strengthening high pressure coming at us. And so whenever you get this kind of extreme, all-time November warmth we had, and now going back to sort of early winter chill, the air is really going to move, and that's why we're going to have so much wind coming in here tonight. It's going to be rocking and rolling. You do want to secure your outdoor objects. I'm surprised there's not a wind advisory in effect in southern New England. Here's the national advisories, watches and warnings, and there's the blizzard warning, the red in northern New Mexico, hurricane warning over the central Gulf of Mexico, and the red here in the northeast, that's a high fire danger, red flag warning in effect from New Jersey to Massachusetts. And in Maine, there is a wind advisory for tonight, and I think we're going to see more wind advisories coming at us as the air really changes. So why don't I just try and get right to the big picture weather map and put the Euro in motion now, and we'll watch that blizzard gradually lift out of the southwestern United States. And here comes this front with, look at all those isobars tightening up over New England. A real heavy wind overnight tonight, and then the high pressure system eases in and just barely south of us tomorrow night, and that's when we may have a freeze all the way to Boston. It's going to be close on Sunday morning, and then the wind is going to let up, and then here comes the remnant of that blizzard over the middle of the nation, and the severe weather with some rain coming in late Sunday, Sunday night, and early Monday, but it's very progressive. Some of us may get a third of an inch of rain. I think I'll stop it right here for a second and show you the Boston 5-day. And this is from weather.us, and it's the Euro output just for Boston. And it shows the temperature today near 60, and then tomorrow in the 50s with all the wind, and then the wind diminishes, but Then it's going to pick back up on Sunday afternoon. Then on Monday, all of a sudden it's gusting again, close to 30. So much wind, and the temperature goes back up with that little chance of rain Monday afternoon. And another cold front's going to come in probably later Tuesday. All right, so let's get back to that. Tuesday, you see all those leaves just flying around down here? This is kind of interesting, real pretty. And yeah, wind, air moving from high to low pressure. So another weak high is going to come over us on Monday into Tuesday, but then another strong colder front is going to come in. Well, not colder than tonight's, but a cold front enough for a little bit of freezing weather in far northern New England Tuesday night into Wednesday, and then another storm coming out of the Rockies, and we've been stopping it on Thursday. We're going to stop it now on Thursday again. And Sterling, you caught me on this yesterday. It was a 976 low, a good high. See, I try and memorize these things, and I called it a 979. Well, now what is it? It's in the 990s over Lake Superior, and there's less cold, so it doesn't look like a blizzard, but it still looks like a powerful system going across the Great Lakes on Thursday with the front on our doorstep, and it looks like we're going to have a wave of low pressure developing on that front very close to New England as that comes in on Wednesday night. On Thursday night. So Wednesday's still dry. Thursday night, the front comes into New England, and I'm going to slow it way down. Look at that. There's a 990 something storm looking like a nor'easter south of Long Island, and then watch what it does. You're kidding me. Where are you going? It's sinking south. It's going to miss us to the south. I'd flip a coin on this one, 50-50, but that's a real interesting thing. Just finding a way not to rain in New England. That is so weird that that thing wants to go to the south. I guess the only good news is that could be a sign of North Atlantic blocking, but in the rest of the 10-day, it does no good for us, because here comes another ridge building in the east late next week. After that front, we start to warm it up again, and there's another low going into the Great Lakes states, and this looks so different than the last three runs where it showed some promise with cold in eastern Canada coming into New England, and I said next Saturday we could be the coldest spot in the United States. Completely opposite now. This takes us out to next Sunday, and there's almost no cold in the United States, and we are so much warmer looking on this. So these waves are erratic. Day 10, it shows low pressure going into central Canada and all those red lines surging in here, and a little cold lifting out. This is now at November 17th, and just mind-boggling changes in the long-range guidance. So this, if you add up yesterday and today, I think we're going to have seasonable chill next weekend. And a word from Killington. Here's the Killington 15-day. Now, I got to tell you, there's a lag effect. So this 15-day on the weather.us, it shows what's pretty much yesterday's output. There's a day late on this. So what we see in this temperature graphic here with the lows near 30 so many days is actually from the run we saw yesterday morning that was so optimistic, and then this run we see today will be in tomorrow's. It's called Model Output Statistics, MOS, and you see the range there in the red and the blue. It indicates a high uncertainty out there, but there are definitely a couple of cold waves coming at us. So the only certain thing about the weather forecast is it's going to change, and it's going to be very windy tonight and tomorrow. So my and more yesterday traveled to Ginny, my sister's house in Halifax. That was so pretty driving through there, and the Montauk daisies that we lifted from the garden in Weymouth survived into Halifax. Thank you for hosting and helping me find the moon last night. I was on a moon hunt, and I didn't really know where I was going to end up last night, and we ended up in Wellfleet. So those birds were working this morning in Wellfleet. So our and more is going to take us back to Wellfleet Harbor this morning. That was very fun, Dennis and Clementine, and hanging out with you last night, Al, and everybody at the Wicked Oyster. That was really fun in Wellfleet, one of my favorite places on earth, and you almost can't go wrong anywhere in New England. Hope you're enjoying and bearing with me on this sort of erratic, like a falling leaf. You never know which way it's going to go. That's how we are with our out-the-door weather and more. All right, we'll be back again tomorrow morning. I'm not sure what door, but we'll be outdoors, and whatever happens, we'll cover it here on Cape Cod. Wind. Dolphin bone. How many dogs to have dolphin bone for breakfast? What's that, Clem? I think this might be what the fish are eating. They mean the birds are eating. It looks like a needlefish. Because I'm so smart, I just knew that off the bat. Yeah, right. No. Oh, jeez. No way she's coming back with that, is it?
Come on, you know, we don't want, come on, right here. Come on.
Oh, here we go. Birds are moving. Coming our way. Apparently the cormorants want to be in weather and more cormorants. The needlefish have moved. Alfred Hitchcock said, "Cue the birds. Let the birds go." My goodness, the word is out. So much going on right now, right before our very eyes. That wind I talked about is mixing out the inversion. So you can see the gusts coming right in our face. You can hear the wind now, even though it's still calm water right there for a few more seconds, but anything but calm water over here, where it is a breakfast buffet for cormorants and gulls and ducks, needlefish. Hear that wind picking up right before our very eyes. Oh, did I mention some birds? The Vizsla named Clementine. Buffet moved 200 yards to the west. All diners, please relocate.
You know the trick to looking up at birds, don't you?
No.
Keep your mouth closed. Most people let your chin open and they look up there.
I know, I'm surprised we're not getting splatted right now.
Yeah. Yeah, but here's one with a fish in its mouth. See it?
No. Yes. That's that fish we just saw. Look at the size of it. Like a foot long. Oh, it's in the belly now. Should do it for the day, huh? Got it. And he just ate it. That was cool.